Hi, Sigourney.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Hanging in there, I hope.
Absolutely. It's a
Good. It's been a
joy to
long
talk
day.
about this film and the message it has.
Yeah, I know you love a message movie. We had a really great conversation last year during Pride Month for Prayers for Bobby on the phone, and so I'm very happy to.
right.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to get to connect with you again about another very important and urgent and timely film that deals in part with human rights, and that's Call Jane. You told me last year that Virginia was a lesbian, but you did not tell me that she carried a lot of fierce, no bullshit lesbian energy.
Huh. Oh, good. I mean, to me, Virginia's just a force of nature. She, I think, was sidelined by men during the anti-war protests, and she just, once she found Call Jane and started gathering this sisterhood, she just wanted to be unstoppable.
Yeah, watching her, I went back through your film your film career, and I like to think that Virginia and Ripley have a lot in common on that level when it comes to being fierce, no bullshit takers. And I feel like those two need to get together and take on the Supreme Court.
Virginia's funnier, may I just say. She's a bit drier. And I think that Virginia's a great leader because she's very instinctive about people. She's sort of honed that. And I think that's very important in the field of human rights. Who's going to go all the way with you? And we all need to go all the way on November 8th and, vote for a Congress that's going to restore this fundamental human right to us.
What does it feel like promoting this movie now? I mean, I guess you could not have imagined where we would be when you originally shot this movie, and here we are, and Roe versus Wade has been overturned.
Well, there were states where there were real deserts of abortion care. So in a sense, in certain states, it had already been not formally banned, but it was very, very difficult for women to access health care and of any kind, including the abortion service. So I think that I was shocked by the Dobbs decision. I feel better now because I feel like, as the movie says, you are not alone. I feel like I am not alone. I feel that, women coming from many different points of view about this experience are saying, excuse me, but this is none of your business. These are very important personal decisions, and you need to let us make them.
Yeah, well said. Is Virginia based on a real-life lesbian activist, or is she simply representing how involved lesbian women have been in the fight for women's reproductive rights?
I didn't base her. I certainly was inspired by reading about the Janes. I think the lesbian part of her just, to me, came from the script. It just made sense to me. The more I thought about Virginia, I felt like she'd made so many decisions leading her to the point at which we meet her. And I love that Joy, who's kind of conservative, straight, and Virginia, strike up this friendship where they really see each other and they really start to inspire each other. It's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it seems like the sexual orientation of the character had something to do with your input based on what you're telling me. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that I just had this instinct that she had, kind of had it with men for a long time, and it was something she embraced. And I love that the Janes include so many people, so many different preferences, so many different pronouns, probably, although they didn't say them back in that day. And it's to me, that's what the country needs. Women from all over the country, different walks of life, and different neighborhoods. We all share this challenge. And we need to share our response for it and, speak up, vote.
Yes, I love that you had something to do with Virginia's sexual orientation, and it reminds me of something that I recently discovered about you. It's that I don't know if you know this, but it was recently pointed out to me that the International Lesbian Day is October 8th,
Oh my
which
God,
I
my
don't. Oh,
birthday. I didn't know that. That's so
isn't
cool. Oh my
that wild?
goodness. How could I not know
People,
that?
How could you not know that is what Twitter's gonna say?
Well, I agree with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, looking at lesbian Twitter, the things that people say about you. You are a lesbian icon. I mean, you must know that based on people who've come up to you over the years and told you what Ripley's done for them, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm wondering when the moment was in your career when you really were aware that you were this icon that the queer community saw you as.
I think certainly by doing the last one, I had embraced that. Um, I think that Ripley was almost too busy to have a sexual orientation, but I know it would make Virginia really happy to think that my birthday was on International Lesbian Day. Um, and, I just love that about our community, that it was so inclusive and it was so respectful to each person. And to me, that's a great message of the movie, that you are not alone and that all kinds of women are here with you and ready to help you when you need it. I think there's so many divisions in this country for so many reasons, and I think it's all great for people to have their specific choices, but I think there are things going on that we need to think bigger, and just think about protecting all of our rights. I worry where we will go next if we don't fight back for this. And I think I have a lot of friends who are very worried about it too. And I just think all personal choices need to be protected by an amendment. They are to a certain extent, but now that we know the Supreme Court can just snatch these things away, it's really a political awakening for me. It's so arbitrary and ignorant. I'm still in shock about it. So I hope
Yeah.
it can bring us together on this, for this moment.
Yeah, I think the same is true for LGBTQ rights, and I know that you probably think so as well, and you're probably referring to Obergefell and what could possibly happen with marriage equality.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, how are you feeling about the state of that for the queer community?
Again, I'm so surprised they could do this. To
yeah.
me, and we have no recourse. We can't go to the International Criminal Court and say this bad decision was handed down. To me, it's so unjudicial to make a sweeping blanket change like that. Women, all kinds of women were liberated by this decision, Roe versus Wade, and they planned careers and families and or no families. And to just take that away is so shocking. But as this movie shows, there's a lot we can do, and
Yeah.
and I think that for me, I need to concentrate on what we can do and not what we've lost.
Well,
Uh,
you can.
You can continue to put movies out like Call Jane and Prayers for Bobby. I'm getting a wrap, but my last question here is regarding Prayers for Bobby. I know we've talked about it at length, but it seems like we can have a constant conversation about this movie throughout the rest of my life and throughout the rest of your career, which I don't know how to feel about that. I love that you made it, but I also hate that we have to keep coming back to a movie that feels so familiar, especially now with the Don't Say Gay bills that we're seeing all across America and the book bans because of queer characters in books and libraries. My question is, what do you think Prayers for Bobby can teach, you know, these homophobic conservatives who think that the answer to helping LGBTQ youth is to pretend that homosexuality doesn't exist?
well, Mary's story, which is based on her own life, is is to me such a revelation about that very thing, that here is someone who sits in judgment about a choice that her son has made, fights it at every turn, denies him his self-expression, and ultimately he takes his life. And I'm so proud of the movie. I feel like it awakened in me a different part of the talent that I use to do what I do. I'm very grateful to Prayers for Bobby for opening me up to all the different aspects of what's going on in this community. I would say that, I'm so often, out of the blue, a young man will come up to me and thank me for this movie. I just wish we had more of them. And I again, it's so frustrating to keep fighting the same battle again and to not be able to stand on progress and go, this is secure. I'm safe. I'm free. I can do what I want with my life and with whom I want. These are such basic human rights. I just can't believe that we're in a country that suddenly just said, no, 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 no. We've never really been for that. We take it back. It's like crazy.